Okay, I wanted to share a tip with you on how to get a good cover stitch on the bottom of your hem, and this can be pretty much on any hem, a t-shirt or a skirt line or anything. And so just about any time in my sewing career that I've thought of something that would make things easier, it's always basting. And what we're going to do is we're going to use our longest stitch, and on this machine it's a 5.0. Then I've turned my tension down to 3, so I want it loose, and I'm going to baste right along the edge of the seam here, and the idea is to have a guideline for when I go to the cover stitch. I can basically put my 2 needles on each side of it, and that will give me a perfect looper around this edge, like you see on some of the commercially produced products when they use the computerized cover stitch machines. So what we'll do is just sew a basting stitch, long basting stitch, loose. Again, we're using it as a guide, and some of the machines will only go to 4, so let me take mine down to 4. And we'll go all the way around the hemline, then we'll take it over to the cover stitch machine and we'll do the hem, and I'll show you that process, and then we'll remove the basting stitch. So let me get started here. I'm going to go at the slowest speed. Use some magnifying glasses or whatever you have to do, but you want to make sure that stitch stays right on the edge, real close to the edge of that seam. And we want to come up and meet where we started. And just go 1 stitch over it, and you should be good. Okay, so there you see our basting stitch, and on the other side that will be our guideline for when we go around and we do our cover stitch. So we'll split that with our needle on our cover stitch, and the result is we should have the loops on this side, and then we'll come back and remove the basting stitch. So let me move over to the cover stitch machine. I'll show you that process next. Okay, we're at the cover stitch machine now, and I've got my seam set under the presser foot with the needles spreading the basting stitch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew all the way around with my cover stitch, and I'm going to straddle the basting stitch as I do it. So just take your time, go slow, and if you need some magnifying glasses of some sort on to see it closely, feel free to do that. But it's not speed here, it's getting the accuracy. And when we're finished, we'll pull the basting stitch out, and you'll see the results. That the cover stitch, the loops on the back, will be right on the edge of the fabric if everything goes as planned. So here we go. Find my threads. And I've just gone over the first 3 stitches. Okay, we're going to go ahead and raise our needle, and we're going to go under the fabric here. I'm sorry, I should say under the foot, and pull the threads. Pull our fabric out. There we go. Okay. So you can see that's our starting and ending point down there. See how that loop covers perfectly along the edge there? And that's what that allows you to do, is get everything straightened up. So let me remove the basting stitch. Fairly easy to do since these stitches are loose. Get a seam ripper and start ripping them out. Okay, basting stitches are out now, so let's have a look here and see how our hemline looks. Okay, here's the back side. So you'll see that the edges are covered up, sealed up nicely, just the way you'd like them. And I know the thread matches, so it's kind of hard to see the front side, but there are the stitches along the front line. So anyway, that's the way I go about doing this. It just makes it so much easier to line up the edge and get everything nice and even, and it's a hit every time. When you remove the front side first of your basting stitch, and then on the back side find a place where it's high and clip it, and you can literally pull one side out and then you can pull the other side right out. So the most time consuming part is pulling the front side out, and if you've straddled it, it's easy. But if you've happened to hit a couple of them really close, be very careful with your seam ripper when you go in to get your basting stitch, because you may accidentally grab a hold of your hem stitch. So just be cautious of that, and make sure you can see up close when you're doing that. It'll save you some headaches of pulling the thread out of the seam when you do that. So anyway, that's the way I do my cover stitching. I always do a basting stitch first, and if it's some sort of a light knit or something like that, I just use a size 10 needle with either silk thread or something that's easy to remove, and it works great every time. So hope this helps you out, and if I can answer any questions, please let me know. I think it's pretty well self-explanatory, so hopefully you can give it a try and it'll help you out. Take care.